All right, we have Raghu next. Hey Raghu, hi, how are you?
Hi, Nikhil. I'm good. How are you?
No, good, good as well. Thank you very much. Thanks for taking our time to talk to us today.
Well,
Uh,
I was quite confused whether I should start with a hi or a good morning.
no, I think our audience is quite awake. I think even at this hour they want to listen to stories, right? So tell us about you, Raghu, your startup, your background a bit.
Sure. I'm the founder of Scoretab.
Yeah.
It's a sports tech startup. Uh,
Okay.
in India, I mean, if you see, cricket dominates the media spotlight, leaving all the other sports like kabaddi, badminton, hockey, the Olympic disciplines. They struggle for visibility. And
Yeah.
it is not that we do not have good talent in those sports. It is just that the visibility is lacking. And
Right.
they normally gain attention during the major events, or when probably the prime minister calls them for a tea and a chat. So that is
Hmm.
when the media wakes up and covers for them. And
Yeah.
this actually it hinders in the development of the sport. It hinders in the aspiration of the athletes. You don't get role models so that your next generation can get into these sports. uh, and we have a lot of talent. I mean, a country like India, there is no shortage of talent for anything. So we actually have this slogan of every sport, every fan. So we want to take the complete emerging sport ecosystem up into the limelight, into the media, so that by creating this dedicated platform, we can bring these games to the limelight and give them visibility that they need to thrive. With a
Right.
growing audience and increased engagement, sponsorships would be a natural flow into these sports, and that is what will empower the athletes in improving the infrastructure and building a strong sports ecosystem. Especially with India, looking at bidding for the Olympics in 2036. uh,
Yeah.
there is a lot that is desired to be done. Uh,
Yeah.
there are a lot of grassroots programs that have been in existence for the last 6 to 8 years, and they are now showing the results. It's time
Yeah.
to kick it up and take it forward. So
Yeah.
that is the uh, the visibility and the focus on the emerging sports is something that we are totally focusing on.
Yeah. 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 Raghu, when did you start the company and what was your inspiration? I mean, you told us why you started it. Why do you see that, there is, but what was your inspiration? Are you inspired by sports yourself? Do you play any sport?
So yeah, I have played a lot of sports. I've played cricket, table tennis, badminton, tennis,
Oh, okay.
football. So right since my childhood, I've been playing some sport or the other.
Okay.
Never went to the national level, but the passion was always there. But
Right.
having said that, that was not the trigger for actually starting with Scoretab. So back in 2021, as all of us were working from home, had a lot of ample time in our hands, and that is when the Olympics were also taking place, which was deferred by a year.
Yeah.
And during those Olympics, I wanted to follow it, both since I had the time as well as the passion for it. And unfortunately, by the time I came to know that certain individual or a team from India is playing, the match would be over. And
Yeah.
despite live transmission and all that, still that was a struggle, and I could not find any place which would actually tell me what time the an Indian is going to participate. And
Yeah.
what hurt the most was when Neeraj Chopra won that gold that year. I mean, I would
Yeah.
have loved to see that in live action, but
Right.
this is what started the trigger of doing something about it, more for myself than for anything else. Then, of course, I spoke around, I asked around, did a few informal surveys with known people, unknown people, and what I realized is people have an interest. in
Right. Yeah.
watching sports, other than cricket. I mean, cricket, of course. eh, Anybody who likes sports, 90% of them do watch cricket. But
Absolutely.
the surprising thing that I saw is even all these hardcore cricket fans, they also would would love to take out time to watch these other athletes performing at the international
Yeah.
stage. And at the same time, I was watching, PV Sindhu play in one of the BWF tournaments, which was again telecast on television, but there was no coverage in the media. So I just
Right.
accidentally happened to flip through the channels and land on that. And since then, what I noticed is most of these international matches where
Yeah.
our cream of athletes participate, they're
Yeah.
all broadcast on our on television, on OTTs in India,
Yeah.
but unfortunately they don't get the eyeballs just because of the lack of media attention on them.
Right.
So
Yeah.
compounding that, by tried looking at it as an analogy with cricket, which
Yeah.
until 1983 nobody cared about that, but
Yeah.
1983 changed everything. So it
Yeah.
is all about having the eyeballs, which would give the traction, the sponsorship, the infrastructure development, everything follows then. And
Yeah.
that is how you get the next generation of people engaged in the sport and interested in pursuing it as a career, rather
Yeah.
than just playing it for time pass and then leave it aside. And
Yeah. Yeah.
sports has its own advantages, in terms of personal development, in terms of
Yeah.
teamwork. So there, all those synergies, also hidden synergies, are there, which we generally don't think about and realize.
Yeah. So when did you start the company, Raghu? Sorry, I didn't get that.
Yeah, so I the app has been live for about a year and a half now. It's
Okay.
on the Play Store and the App Store. So
Okay.
in the app, we are basically just promoting what is the match timing as of now, and we are building on getting on live sports into that. Uh,
Okay.
Along with that, we are also building a VR tech, for getting immersive viewership into your house. So
Okay.
sitting in your house, you can actually have a stadium like experience
Hmm.
without the
Yeah.
hassle of traveling and standing in queues and all that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that is something that we are building separately. That's
Okay.
a long-term tech development,
Okay.
because as of now there's no technology that is available which would take multiple camera feed and give a live transmission. Uh,
Right.
but the idea is to actually popularize the emerging sports through the app and the media platform before jumping into the VR live viewing aspect of it.
Got it. So, but in India, if you want to sort of telecast sports, or even through this VR that you're talking about, you'll have to deal with a lot of rights, right? Like you'll have to buy rights from X, Y, Z contenders. So, how do you think that will pan out for you? You know,
So the rights are all available with the sports governing bodies.
correct. Yeah,
Now, if I say cricket, then in India it is BCCI. International
correct.
tournaments, it's ICC. If I
Yeah,
say badminton, it is BWF. Similarly for each sport, it has got its own governing body. Now,
yeah,
the good thing is, these are all emerging sports, so
yeah,
even they are fighting for eyeballs. So that's
yeah,
a add-on bonus and a win-win both sides.
yeah,
So that,
yeah,
if it was cricket, yes, that would have been a very different ball game altogether.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it is not cricket that we are focusing on. That is not our because for cricket you have a lot of platforms and content available, and
Right.
there is no point in fighting in a crowded market.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, thanks so much. I'm afraid time's up for us, Raghu, but I would love to talk to you more about your startup. Maybe offline we can take this sometime.
Sure, sure.
Thanks so much for taking out time, Raghu. It was really lovely talking to you, and I wish you
Thank
the
you.
best for your future.
Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you, your story too. And should I end with a good night or a good morning now?
Up to you. I think it's a good night for all of us.
A good night then. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I look forward to catching up with you offline.
Yes, 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 for sure.